Hey, how is everyone doing? I hope you're doing well. So today, another video. Yay! Last time, before I get into it, I just want to thank all of you, and you know who you are, who have checked on me, have been concerned, um, and really reached out to see if I was okay. I truly appreciate it, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for showing that love and concern to me. But I am hopefully back. All what was going on is behind me and at least at balance. That's the best thing I could say for that is balanced. So, yeah, thank you, all of you. So, what I talked about last time was Jesus, how he actually was making references to astrology. And the one thing I did mention was the man with the water pitcher when he said, "Go into that house and that's where I'll meet you." And he was actually not talking about a literal man with a water pitcher, but Aquarius. That was the sign for Aquarius. So I mentioned what I want to do today is go into Revelation chapter 4 and verse 7, but I'll read a couple other scriptures as well. And basically explain how this is actually, again, astrology. Okay? So, first off, let's go to that scripture, which is Revelation chapter 4 and verse 7. And I'm using the New King James Version Bible. And I'm actually going to start at 6 just to get a reference. It says, "Before the throne there was a sea of glass like crystal. And in the midst of the throne and around the throne were four living creatures full of eyes in front and in back. The first living creature was like a lion, the second living creature like a calf, the third living creature had a face like a man, and the fourth living creature was like a flying eagle." So, this actually is also in Ezekiel chapter 1 and verse 10, and I will read that also. Ezekiel 1 and verse 10. And there it says, "As for the likeness of their faces, each had the face of a man. Each of the four had the face of a lion on the right side. Each of the four had the face of an ox on the left side. And each of the four had the face of an eagle." So that's in Ezekiel, where it's referenced to these four creatures again. Now, let's get into what these four creatures actually mean. Now, I have alluded to the sun and the importance of the sun, and actually who the sun is, the real sun. So, those of you who don't know, the sun would actually be the true masculine energy God, not the one in the Hebrew scriptures. That is the rebellious God, the one who rebelled and took certain spirit beings, light creatures, whatever you want to call them, with him in that rebellion. That's the one who has been misleading the entire world. That is why it needs to be addressed. So people really wake up, open their eyes to what's going on around them and the truth about what they've been led to believe. So, in Revelation and in Ezekiel, these four creatures basically represent seasons, the four seasons. So, once again, importance of the sun and the cycles. These represent the sun going through the four cardinal constellations. So, by cardinal, I mean the middle of these constellations, where it would be in the middle of the seasons. So, for instance, Leo is represented by that lion. So, the creature was like a lion. That would be Leo, the constellation Leo. And Leo represents summer, the height of summer. So, that would be approximately July 23rd through August 22nd, which would be the height of summer, when the sun is the strongest, the days are the longest and the brightest. So the next living creature, like a calf, the calf, or sometimes it's represented as a bull, would be Taurus. Taurus represents spring, the height of spring. So that would be April 20th through like May 20th. And this is the northern hemisphere I'm talking about. Um, so just keep that in mind when I'm giving you these months. The southern, it would be opposite, okay? So the next would be the creature that has a face like a man. So this would be Aquarius, that man holding that water pitcher. And Aquarius would represent winter. So that would be January 21st through like February 18th, which would be the height of the winter season, where you have the lowest light, the shortest days, that type of thing from the sun. So the last one that's mentioned here, the creature was like a flying eagle. So that would be the constellation of Scorpio, which is the height of the fall season. So that would be October 23rd through approximately November 21st. And Scorpio actually can be represented by the scorpion, the eagle, as it is in the Bible, and also a serpent. So Scorpio can have three representations, but in the Bible, it's represented as the eagle. And once again, that would be fall. So you see here, what it's actually talking about in Revelation is the four seasons, which are determined by the sun's positioning, going through the constellations and making rotations. So hopefully that was clear, very basic, but just so you get an idea of how the Bible actually should be interpreted. But this has been something that religions want hidden. That's why they view astrology as demonic, because they don't want people to be enlightened. They don't want them to wake up. They want them to stay in this matrix that was created by a rebel force, energy. And humans have been following this for thousands of years without knowing it. So that's what I have for you for today. Yes, I will link in either the description below or in the comment section where you can go to start educating yourself about astrology. It's www.astrology.com, but once again, I will either link it in the description or in the comment section for you guys to go there, research, and explore on your own so you can educate yourself, okay? That's it for today. As usual, I love you all. Show that love and be in a place of peace. If you can't show love to yourself, it's very difficult to show it to others, okay? Take care. Bye.